maybe a little something coming soon. Dropping a couple of hints. Hope all you Final Fight fans are ready for what I'm about to unleash on you guys hopefully within the next couple of weeks. Alright, let's get this started. Captain here. Now I'd like to take some time to address a recent video posted by Shane Miller at his channel. I'm going to link that right in here. But at the beginning of his most recent video, he kind of let everybody know what he's been thinking, which basically his points were not to let anybody, whether outside forces or people or just a pressure to grow up faster, not to let any of that get in the way of your hobbies or the things that you like doing. In his case, collecting figures. And he said, he would welcome video responses to that, so I'm just going to submit this as mine. I largely agreed with a lot of what he was saying. I mean, growing up, I was always into figures and, just comics and random, stuff that not many people, as I got older, not many people my age were, into anymore. It was always kind of looked, down upon or whatever. But, nowadays, it seems like nobody really cares what I'm doing. As I get older, I'm 27 now. The older I get, well, A, the less I care about what other people think. And B, most people don't really have any kind of a problem with it. They can walk in here and see that I got stuff set up all over the place. And, most times I don't say a word. And if anybody does, I'm like, well, I like doing this. And, then I can show some of the animations I do with them or just some of the, just some of the little cool things that, I wouldn't be able to do otherwise. And generally, people can see that and appreciate what it is, for artistic purposes. So I'm guessing that if any of you guys watching, have a ACBA display set up, or if you guys do stop motion by any chance, or any of that kind of stuff, you could always, show people like, yeah, well, I do collect figures, but it also enables me to, be a little more artistic, get creative, get some stuff out there that I wouldn't be able to do otherwise. Not that you're going to be trying to make excuses for your hobby. I mean, some people just collect figures because they like to collect figures. And you know what? It's like Shane Miller was saying, who are you hurting by doing that? But I think the ultimate irony is that, a lot of that as a kid probably comes from pressure to be treated more like an adult. So they think like, oh, well, if I stop playing with toys, if I start, being more mature, then I'll reach adulthood faster. And, then people actually get to be grown-ups and see what the real world is all about, and all they want to do is be young again. Kind of twisted, really. But, yeah, in keeping with his points that he was making, and I back these points up 100%, don't let anybody get in the way of, the things you like to do. I mean, if you're doing, hard drugs and stealing cars and burning down houses and stuff, I can't condone any of that stuff, but if you're just collecting figures, if you're, spending some money here and there on just getting yourself a collection of stuff you like, you're not hurting anybody. And so, I'd say go along with it. So, Shane Miller, thank you for bringing this up, and hopefully you get more video responses. I'd be curious to see what other people think of what you were saying. And if you haven't seen Shane Miller's channel, I linked it earlier in the video. Check it out. He's got a lot of cool stuff. He's got a ridiculous amount of figures that he gets, and he talks about them as he gets them, and definitely a cool way to keep up on some of the current things that are going on within his side of things, or within even the whole community, like his trading and eBay purchases and whatnot. But yeah, so that's my input for that. And now, without further ado, let's get started on talking about what I'd like to speak about today. So I've been finding a lot of my old Marvel Legends bases, the ones that just came with the figures. This one, I believe, is with Sabretooth. I'm going to have to double check that, because I'm actually in talks with somebody who's interested in trading for the Marvel Legends Sabretooth with his base. So, I just want to make sure I'm sending the guy the right stuff if we end up reaching a deal. But I got a whole box of these things, over there underneath, because I've been doing, a lot of my own, setups lately, so I don't really need these bases anymore. So I guess my question to anybody watching, you can feel free to leave your comment in the, in the boxes down below there, is what do you guys do with these? Like, if you're into building your own sets, if you're into making, you know, your own displays, do you still keep these, or do you get rid of them, or I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with mine is basically what I'm trying to say. So I'm not sure if there's anybody out there that's interested in like buying up a bunch of these. Like, I'm not going to be looking to make any kind of a killing on these, but if I end up selling them, you know, I got a lot to pick from is what I'm saying. But that's just basically a question I figured I'd throw out to the community and see if I got an answer. But not this one, by the way, because this one's probably going to be spoken for if we reach an agreement. So I went out this afternoon, and I stopped by Walmart, and I got some more of this stone paint, because I'm thinking about probably continuing to do, you know, more sections of the Batcave after my last video where I did the weapons rack and, you know, his costume chamber vault thing. But somebody had left me a comment saying I never showed what the stone paint was, so here's what it is. It's just a Rust-Oleum American Accent stone textured finish. This is, like I said in the last video, it's like $7.97 at Walmart or whatever. It's a little expensive, but as long as you got, you know, 98 extra cents, you could buy this fast dry black, spray a quick coat of this on, and then that stone paint will stick right to it. I've been doing some stop motion lately for 4-star 9/18 contest. I'm really getting a kick out of the video I'm putting together. I'm hoping that everybody else will enjoy it too. If you haven't checked out any of my stop motions, I'll link the channel in the video right here. Some new things I've gotten in the past couple of weeks. Start with this guy here, the Extremis Iron Man, or Extremis Iron Man, however you say it. I got the stealth version for $10 off eBay, and that was including shipping and everything. He didn't have the Terrax piece, but I don't really care that much about Terrax, so it doesn't bother me at all. I picked the, oh sorry, my phone's going off. I picked the stealth version because I kind of like this blue costume scheme. It reminds me of one of the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 alternate costumes. And, you know, a lot of people have done reviews of this figure already, so I'm not going to sit here and waste everybody's time with that. But it's definitely, like, you know, one of the finer figures out of Wave 1. It's the only one that I'm really, like, that I was determined to pick up for myself. You get a lot of good, you know, poses out of it. You can get the in-flight pose because of the way his head moves. It's definitely a cool figure. If you saw Boog Nice 10's last video, he talks about it, saying, like, it's kind of one of those ones you have to have, you know, in hand before you can fully appreciate it. And, you know, I tend to agree. I think that this figure probably doesn't look like it's anything really that exciting compared to all the other Iron Man figures that you see all over the place everywhere else. But, you know, there's just something really sleek about the design and, in my opinion, really cool about this particular color scheme that really kind of stands out. I'm definitely into it. Also, this is not a new purchase or anything by any means, but I ended up trying to make a deal with somebody, and unfortunately the deal fell through. I had this guy mint in the card, the Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond, and he said he wanted it loose, so I opened it up and I, you know, had it packed up, and then unfortunately, like, the deal, we ended up not being able to reach an agreement or whatever the case may be. So what the happy little bonus is that I actually figured out that I really like this figure. You know, having him mint on the card was, you know, kind of a waste of this figure in my opinion, because like now that I got him off the card, I can see that he's really actually a nice figure. I had the regular version of this a long time ago, but there was some kind of a defect, like his legs wouldn't move up and down. Then when I tried to, they both just broke off. So somewhere I still got like the top half of the regular Batman Beyond figure, and I'm thinking maybe I'll try like the blow dryer trick and I'll just be able to have him, you know, with or without the mask depending. But on a side note, I got a Despero arm here if anybody's, you know, looking to trade for that. But overall, this is a nice figure. I really like the glossy black. I've always liked the Batman Beyond cartoon. I thought it was interesting, and you know, some of the stories were a little bit, I guess, out there for my personal taste. But then, you know, it's supposed to take place in the future, so I can't really hold that much against it. But overall, yeah, either way, this is a cool figure, and you know, in a way, I'm kind of glad I opened it up because I really, you know, turns out I liked it. Also, just today at Toys R Us, I picked up this set here, the Batman and Catwoman Arkham City set. Let me switch the light off so you don't get hit with this glare. These are some nice figures by the looks of it. I don't have an any kind of Arkham Asylum or Arkham City version of Batman. Out of all my DC, you know, Batman figures, none of them are that version. I like the color scheme on this one actually, where it's the dark blue rather than the black. I think that looks nice. And obviously this Catwoman figure, I've seen enough reviews on her. She's really a nice looking figure. So I'm going to get these guys open and we'll have a look at them. So here they are out of package. I definitely am into this Batman figure. Because I never had any prior versions of this figure, like, I kind of figured like this was just going to be plain or whatever, like, you know, this just another Batman, not very exciting. But now that I got it out of, you know, the package, it's kind of like what I was saying about the Extremis Iron Man earlier. Like, it's just, you know, it doesn't look like much just on the card, but when you get it out, it's really cool. He's got, you know, all the articulation you would expect from a DC UC figure. He's got, you know, a lot of the detail that's, you know, kind of what makes his costume cool in those video games, because they try to make it look a little more, you know, like tactical rather than just tights and a cape. But overall, this is a really cool figure. Mine has a T-joint right here that you just can't move it. So I'm going to have to mess around with that, see if I can fix it. But obviously the highlight of this set is still going to be Catwoman. Now she does have trouble standing because of these high heel shoes she's got on, but you know, she's still able to get some pretty good poses. And she's got all the articulation you would expect also, you know, from the same DC UC figures. The whip is like a, well, not a solid plastic, but it's, you know, it's pretty pliable. You can move it around, but it's not like rubber that, you know, the whips that used to come with like the old school Kenner Catwoman figures or any of that. But also I think it's cool that they got her goggles down, because throughout the course of the game, you know, she has her goggles up most of the time, and her goggles, you know, when they're down, it's like when she's doing like the detective mode, whether they call it with Catwoman. But as far as figures go, you know, ideally it would have been cool to have them go up and down, but if I had to have a choice between up or down, I like them better down. Just, you know, what's the point in concealed identity if you're just going to be wearing not, you know, anything over your face. But overall, very cool figures. Definitely glad I picked these up. And as a Batman collector, if you enjoy the video game Arkham City, these are definitely going to be good figures to pick up. They'll go well with the Joker that I got from winning second in Thor Odinson 24's contest that I showed in a previous video. And I'm glad I got that Joker figure too, because I didn't really care for the design of Robin in the video game. Like, if you've ever read the Batman comics, he tells Robin not to wear a hood because, like, any villains could just pull the hood down over his face. And then, you know, tactically speaking, Robin's got fingerless gloves, which is kind of stupid. If you're trying to conceal an identity, why are you going to leave your fingerprints all over Gotham City? But, you know, be that as it may, I ended up getting the superior figure out of that 2-pack. There's my phone again. Well, people just don't want to leave me alone tonight. That's fine, though. I got friends, I guess. But, yeah, cool figures. I definitely recommend picking these up if you find them. A little bit of a shorter video this time around, but I haven't really been able to get much of anything put together because of, you know, I've been busy working and stuff. But I do have a couple of plans to continue doing some set building. I want to do a little more of the Batcave, like I said. And I kind of got an idea pretty recently for doing something else that I wanted to try and put together and see how it worked. So I'm going to start drawing pictures of that and just seeing, you know, kind of make a basic floor plan, kind of a layout thing going. Alright, till next time, this has been Captain McKay. Feel free to watch all the other videos if you haven't already. You know, subscribe, comment, do whatever you got to do. Alright, thank you very much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a good night.